ghosts, aliens, and other mysteries of the universe? Do you want to hear stories and opinions from people who have experienced the supernatural? Then tune in to Supernatural Limits, the podcast that explores the unknown and the unexplained. Every week, we explore encounters with the paranormal, the bizarre, and the unbelievable. Whether a skeptic or a believer, join us on this thrilling journey into the other side of reality.
Welcome, everyone. Wefobz Nation, wefobzcitizen, to another episode of Supernatural Limits, the 2024 edition. For this moment, we've got Chieflott and guysosmooth. Welcome, whyuce. Welcome to Supernatural Limits.
Thanks for having me, bro. It's good to be on Supernatural, man.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. We went on that long break and decided to pop this one off for 2024. How's things been for you?
Good. Everything is good. Looking forward to dive into what Supernatural has to bring. I know this is a popping show, so I want to keep entertaining it and see what we can do, man.
Oh yeah. The curiosity did strike us as we got into this new year. We're coming up on that Chinese New Year, Year of the Dragon Whyuce.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of supernatural things happen around then. Shout out to everybody celebrating this new year going through, whether it be the Chinese New Year or the New Year itself. But we've got another, I wouldn't say exciting, but a very intriguing topic for everyone on this podcast. So, have you ever heard of the Book of Enoch?
Wow. Yes, sir.
Right?
My head spins when I hear that. Curiosity. There's so much about that I definitely should be talking about.
Oh man. So, well, like Chieflott has said, Wefobz Nation, we're going to talk about the Book of Enoch here on the Supernatural Limits. And we're going to go there. And let me see if I can bring this up just to get a little basic for all of you who are not familiar with the Book of Enoch. This is something that is, out of the Bible?
Yeah, when I hear Enoch, the question, so for me, it formulates around the Christianity view of arguments of why this book, Enoch, was removed from the Bible. And that's the statement that I hear. And then looking into that as well too, you start to realize there's more to unfold in this Book of Enoch, and how the book has an impact in the history and why it wasn't part of the Bible.
The Bible as we know it now, right? The Bible as we know it now. The
Bible as we know today. Yeah. I think if I'm correct, it's it's not a spiritual enlightening, qualified to be in the Bible, but it's registered as a historical history from the past, which kind of makes you think like this. Then that holds a lot of weight, because in the Bible it actually acknowledges Enoch, the
text
great grandfather of Noah. The actual Bible text that
he's like the great was it two
great
greats
grandfather?
Or
great grandfather of Noah.
Noah's great grandfather, right?
Yeah,
right
Noah's great grandfather. Yep. So that, you know what I mean? That shows you there's got to be some kind of legitimacy, right? to this Book of Enoch.
And even if they went through all that trouble to create it and have it saved for all these, tens of thousands of years or thousands of years, because if you're talking Noah, you're talking pre-Noah. Noah was pre-flood, like he was before the flood. And then you're talking before Noah, right? Because he's the great grandfather of Noah.
Right. Yeah. And if you think about the story of Noah, you know, God flooded the world and picked Noah to preserve, you know, his family and all these animals. But why would what would cause someone to do that? Or
Yeah, the background history, the backstory to all of that. Like everybody just knows the world was flooded, and it says what everybody was sinning, and God did
yeah,
not
like
like
it
what He was
did
seeing.
not correct. And that's what and it boils down to that in the Christian world, right? Life is based on uh, um, your faith and sins that you commit that you have to repent to. And this world that we live in today, um, sinned. And when you sin, the wrath of sin is death. So it makes perfect sense. Like, okay, the world was flooded because the world sinned so much. And then it acknowledges that Enoch is the great grandfather of Noah. And when you look into the book of Enoch, it explains the stuff that makes total sense why it's not in the Holy Bible. It's very supernatural, kind of.
It's stuff that will blow people's mind, and a lot of I believe a lot of people who thump the Bible, if they really know their Bible, I'm pretty sure, bro, they know about the Book of Enoch.
Yeah, it's funny because when I bring it up to my, the Christian leaders or
The ones
pastors
who,
or whatever,
yeah,
they know what's up, but it's kind of like they don't want, it's kind of
a
a
hush
taboo
hush.
kind of talk.
Don't
Yeah, it's
talk
kind of a
about
hush
it.
hush kind of thing. Like,
Sweep it under the
yeah, like
rug.
I was like, oh no. I'm pretty mature to rock this through. Like it doesn't shake my faith. It's all about clarity and understanding because it makes sense, right? Like it's so dark.
I feel like the way they're treating it is like the dark ages. Don't tell them information because it's witchcraft. That's how I feel when they do stuff like that, like try to hide information like that.
Yeah,
but that's just
people.
Me. That's just me.
Oh no, I honestly agree. Like, but people need to understand. Like if you're mature in the Word of God or in any faith that you're in, this kind of information just kind of helps validate and solidifies your stance, your position, and it only makes you stronger. And it makes total sense to me how it correlates directly with the Word of God. And and the fascinating part about it is how it hits home because with the the falling angels that I heard is what caught my attentions. And
you dug
they
deeper
made
and it just kept getting like that rabbit hole just kept going, right?
It did. Where when they mate with humans and ladies, and
but
then they birth giants.
Yeah, right.
And that when I heard giants and then explaining them, like, so that hits home. From Samoa, coming from Samoa, there's a lot of stories of our ancestors or our past history of giants being in Samoa. You know what I mean? And like kind of like it sparks the idea of like, wait, are Samoans like the future generation of giants from the same lineage? Or what I mean? I don't know. That's all I'm saying. It's very interesting to really think about that.
Well, let's give it some context for a lot of people who are not familiar with the Book of Enoch. I want to share this with everyone, including you. I took this from this site, theawakeningstate.com. I mean, I just Googled, give me 15 facts. Sorry, I rephrased that. I binged, went on Microsoft Bing and typed in, give me 15 facts about the Book of Enoch. And it gave me this website to look at. Disclaimer, we're not professionals on the subject matter, but we are curious about it. And I wanted to share this with you, and I wanted to share it with the wefobz Nation and everyone who's watching Supernatural Limits. Take a look at this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
adding on to that, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, real quick, guy. Just to add on to that, like, this whole point of everything is really we're just trying to educate ourselves and everybody. It's a topic that, or anything we're discussing is for peer entertainment and enjoy the ride with us. Yep. Let's go down this rabbit hole and see what's up.
You guys all saw the disclaimer earlier in the, you saw it earlier in the freaking podcast. So we got you.
We got you covered.
So right here, one of the facts. This book was discovered in Abyssinia. I'm butchering. Wefobz. Abyssinia in 1773 by a Scottish explorer named James Bruce. It is an apocryphal book in the Ethiopic Bible, which is typically dated between the 3rd century BC and the 1st century AD. So there's our Bible, and then there's this very ancient Bible, one of the oldest Bibles in the world, and it exists in Ethiopia. It's their Ethiopian Bible.
Yeah.
Did you ever know about that? So that's where this
I've
guy
heard. Yeah.
he found the traces of the Book of Enoch. It was considered sacred by some first followers of Christ. However, it was left out of the Bible and disappeared for centuries until it was discovered in 1773. This guy up here discovered it. And then in 1821, it was translated by Richard Lawrence and published in a number of editions. The first Book of Enoch has 5 sections, and it's as follows. The Book of Watchers.
That's the one right there, bro. Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna summarize and go through it real quick because there's one I want to get to on the bottom. It's the Book of Watchers.
Go for it.
And this is all about Watchers. The Book of Similitudes. Wefobz again. I'm butchering. The Book of Astronomical Writings. The Book of Dream Visions.
Mm-hmm.
So this other fact here, according to Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the book was written before the flood, bro. Before the flood. Then there's the Book of the Epistle of Enoch. A lot going on there. And then you go into the second Book of Enoch and the third Book of Enoch. And the last fact it's saying here, some flat earthers take the Book of Enoch as proof of there's a flat earth. We're not even going to get into that. I wanted to skip over that. That's all different types of information. What I wanted to get to was the whole reason you and I are talking about, like the summarized pieces that we're going to go into. And there's these 10 facts right here. Again, from awakeningstate.com. I pulled it off of Bing when I binged it up. So the Book of Enoch, one of the facts is it includes references to fallen angels who come down from heaven to cohabitate with humans on earth before Noah's flood. It describes how these fallen angels taught humans forbidden knowledge. It mentions giants who were born from these unions between humans and fallen angels. It talks about how these giants caused destruction on earth until God destroyed them during Noah's flood. That's what we were getting into, right, Whyuce?
Yep.
It also includes descriptions of heaven, such as there's levels in heavens called heavenly mansions. And it talks about how God will judge all people on judgment day according to your deeds. So it describes how there will be rewards for those who follow God's law, but punishment for those who don't. It mentions different types of angels. So there's different levels of angels, such as cherubim, seraphim, and archangels. A lot of people are familiar mostly with like the archangels, right?
Archangels.
What was the other one? Raphael, those type of angels. But there's different types of angels, different levels of angels, everyone. That's what this book is saying, the Book of Enoch. It also talks about how some angels are responsible for carrying out God's judgment on sinners, while others are responsible for protecting the believers from harm. And finally, like this 10 facting states, despite its importance on many spiritual traditions today, the Book of Enoch was not included in the Bible. And that's to lay some groundwork for all of you who are not familiar with the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch is what you are seeing a lot of people allude to in movies, in fictional stories, and then there's non-fictional documentaries going about that. Okay, I set the groundwork, man. Let's talk.
Yeah, there's so many. Well, the Watchers, for example, right? These we call them. So we today, if you look at it today, we can describe it as creatures. You know, they're. I mean, how do you describe an angel and a human in human form? How does that look like?
Right? I think people also forget that angels are not really angels as they think in human form, literally, when you look at the Bible and how it brings it up. Remember?
Yeah.
They look
it's so
way it's like a bunch of eyeballs and
much
wings.
different. Yeah, and it's funny how like I didn't read the whole book, or I'm just skimming through a lot of things and just kind of seeing what people say about it. You know, these angels, these fallen angels, right? Like that's kind of so to my understanding, you know, Lucifer is the only angel, the best angel, I guess, you know, who was sent down to this earth. You know, that was the punishment. But apparently, according to the Enoch's, the stories, it kind of references and seems like there was a clan of a bunch of angels like Lucifer,
right?
Right? And it just like, and they kind of came behind it, and that story is not really spoken in the Bible, but on the Book of Enoch, it talks a lot about that, and just the interaction from that kind of level of you know, angelic, deity level, God, you know, higher creation,
the vibrations, the freaking dimension.
Yeah,
check this out, bro. Somebody drew a rendition of an angel according to the Bible, and so from the Book of Enoch, when it's described, wings, eyeballs on the wings. I mean, literally, not really what you would picture of an angel,
right? And then, and the story goes to say that they seen the women and they wanted to
get with it. They wanted to get a piece of that.
They wanted a piece of that ass. Like
they wanted to tap that. Like they wanted it.
They wanted it. They came down. They wanted to have, you know, mate with these women.
And they did.
And they did. And then what they did during the time, and this is just my collection of my understanding, right? You know, in the process of all this happening, they birthed these new
beings called
hybrid
giants.
Humans. Yeah, and they called giants. The beings they're called giants. And it also, like, it was funny because they to coexist, I think what was happening, to my understanding, is these angels were educating the women on things to make them want to, because it was
technology.
So they started teaching them all these the men too, how to do the agriculture, writing, how to survive, right? Doesn't it least
it fills in the blanks?
That's just the itch of like, doesn't it scratch the itch of understanding, like, wait a minute, if they're teaching that to them at that time of life based on the resources they had available, this is the information that where they came from.
Yeah,
because we're the blank vessel, and they're educated. But this is thousands of years ago, before the flood.
Before,
and then you fast forward today,
way before the flood, like the beginning of the freaking beginning of the world, bro. Like
beginning of the world, how it all right. So and
Adam
then
and
now
Eve before then too.
It's so the whole dinosaurs, you know, fossil fuels, you know, seeing all these things today. We're talking about today, right? 2024. Like it just kind of all makes sense. Like, also, that's where they came from, because where else did they come from?
Right,
how are they discovering these giants?
Creatures, like these giant creatures?
Yeah.
People say those giants couldn't have existed. Then these are all speculations on our part, wefobz. We're just scratching the itch of curiosity and just piecing stuff together. But then if you say giants can't exist, how did these freaking lizards that roam kilometers high, huge, how did they exist, and why are we finding their bones all over the place?
Yeah, there's proof of everything. Like, so, you know, we're just putting it together, and it just makes sense. Like, well, even the technology advancement, right? Like, come on now.
They're already finding like Punapunku, all these geological sites that they say, man, it looks like civilization was more advanced as you go back earlier in time in Earth's history. the Book of Enoch literally points out, of course they were.
Of course they were, and
Book of
how it
Enoch is
happened, and
telling
what,
it was like they had these angel thingies coming down from the heavens telling people how to do technology and stuff.
and it references the Bible like it, straight up. It's just telling you the missing parts of it, and it's validating everything about it, and just going a little deeper. There's 3 types of angels.
Even
There's-
more
there's-
types of
there's
angels, bro. Like
heavens.
there is 3 types, the 3 main types, but there's more. They put in more.
Yeah. So there's levels to this, like a clan, like
Bro. And then we haven't even got to, you see, nobody ever asked where did freaking Goliath come from, right?
Yeah, and supposedly
Like-
he's supposed to be a giant if you think about it, right? Like,
And you think, oh, he's a giant. He was birth of a fallen angel and a human lady.
and then here goes little David. Yeah, it just makes sense, right? It
does.
just makes sense, and it's like, yo, interesting. You know what I mean? And to accept it for face value, like, you know what I mean? It takes a certain type of mindset to comprehend that kind of, like, because I could see, hey, if you got any pushback or this or whatever, please comment. Just hit us up and just let's engage and start a conversation, because these are some really valid stuff we're hitting right here, man.
Yeah, and if you're like Chieflott says, if you're loving this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Also join us if you want to become a wefobz citizen. Get the full, over there at the wefobz podcast. There's a lot dropping there, but man, with the supernatural limits, you're always gonna get us for now. And man, if any of you are interested in this, comment, ask us about it. Let's go deeper. I mean, Chief's mind is so blown by the Book of Enoch. It was the same with me when I saw that, and a lot of I like how Chief said it. If your faith is strong, this will not shake your faith, but you can. It's interesting to delve into the topic, to look at it.
Understanding is important, brother. Right? Understanding is important. Like,
Well,
we check your P's and Q's, everything, and if it makes perfect sense, it makes sense. There's nothing else to argue about it. If anybody says otherwise, come on, jump on the podcast, let's have a discussion, and bring, like, I would love to meet a scholar in this field. Please educate us. But it definitely makes sense, man. It makes total sense. Just kind of
I love how it fills in the gaps for you and I, in a sense, the way we know things, right? Reading from the Bible and things we see around. But you know what?
It hits home.
Yeah. I want to leave it on that cliffhanger for everybody else. I want them salivating to want more. Give me some cliff notes. Give me a cliffhanger right here. What we can leave them with, so we want you to come back, wefobz Nation, and come back to talk to us. Do you want more on Enoch, the Book of Enoch? You know what to do.
Absolutely.
Hit me. What's some final thoughts on this matter?
Stay open-minded. You know what I mean? Clarity helps. So soak yourself with knowledge and understanding of all these kind of things, and always look for the good in everything, and you'll find it. And just again, I mean, if your faith is strong, you should be mature enough to understand, where we're going with this. Take it for what it is. I look forward to hear from you guys, man. Have a great day, man.
Chief said it all. wefobz Nation, we want to thank you for joining us here on Supernatural Limits. Always remember, we will go there. We out.
Let's go.